You live in some fancy-ass world, honey, because I work with guys like that all the time.
No, but it doesn't matter, okay? It's not right.
I'm not saying it's... I'm trying to get my little girl out of jail.
You sound very American right now.
Good, I am.
Yeah, and you're also a stranger here.
I'm here with Matt Damon, who stars in Stillwater, and this film just recently premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and you got a 5-minute standing ovation. So clearly this movie really resonated with viewers. You did a lot of research to get into this character. What was that research like?
It was kind of the most important thing. This kind of roughneck culture is, I didn't even understand when I read the script how kind of specific it is, and the script worked, just the dynamics between the father and the daughter and all that stuff just really worked. But making him a roughneck was this extra thing that I didn't realize when I read the script how critical that was. And so once I got down to Oklahoma and started hanging with those guys, talking about that world and that lifestyle, the effect it has on you as you grow up, and all of that kind of informed the whole look of the character. You know, the jeans with the fire retardant on them, and you know, the whole thing with the goatee and the glasses and the hat, like it's all very specific to these guys. And you know, the goal is always, if you're doing something like that, for those guys to see it and say, yeah, that could be a guy I work with.
I went to the gift shop and I saw this necklace. It was gold, said Stillwater on it. I thought it'd be a little piece of home to take with you.
So 9 years in the making since your initial visit to Marseille. Can you talk to us about the development of Stillwater?
Yeah, I started 9 or 10 years ago now almost with another writer. We were both kind of inspired by the Amanda Knox case, or just that one bit of story about an American woman in jail in Europe, and we used that as a jumping off point. And we worked on that script for about a year and got it to a place where I wasn't happy with it. It was sort of a straight up thriller, and I just didn't think it was fully realized. So I put it down for about 6 years, walked away and thought, man, I wonder if I'll ever do anything with that story. And fortunately I picked it up again. I felt like I had a real clear perspective on what I wanted to discuss beyond the story, you know, which is always important to me. It's not just the story, but it's what's happening above and below the story.
Something called Mektub. A nurse told me about it. It's about acceptance.
Acceptance of what?
Your fate.
What an incredible cast as well. Can you talk about what it was like working with them?
There's just some casts you're happy to go to work every day and jump into the water with, in some cases literally in this movie. But yeah, starting with Matt, we had Matt in mind, I think, as filmmakers for a long time on this one.
He was so committed to his character that he completely disappeared. And I really thank him for that, because it helped me being not so intimidated and feel free to act.
He was amazing. You know, he's such a patient and really generous actor to work with, and just a really great guy in general. Yeah, we had a lot of those really intense scenes, and we were, you know, confined to a very small area, which I think really helped as well. He was awesome to work with.
For me, you never know where you're going to end up in the casting. And Abigail Breslin, I've followed her work since Little Miss Sunshine, but boy, she just came in and took the role.
You know, Abby, who, you know, we all met in Little Miss Sunshine a decade and a half ago, and she's just grown into this just remarkable professional actor.
And then, of course, little Lilu, who plays Maya, who had never acted in a movie in her life and just sort of stole all of our hearts while we were making the movie.
You know, it was interesting to juxtapose her with Lilu, who is like now the child actor in the scenario, and this is her first thing, and she just was completely natural. Like, she just was, after the first day of shooting with her, Tom and I sat down and said, okay, like, how do we keep this fun for her? How do we keep this joyful and playful? And this can't be work for her, or we're gonna grind out this beautiful spark. Almost like she's pitching a no-hitter in baseball. Like, everybody get out of her way a little bit, you know, and give her room to be a kid.
I was struck. Where does it come from? How can somebody have this amazing instinct? And she has an incredible personality, so I really enjoyed being by her side as a person.
And then Camille, like, had to come in and play a real three-dimensional woman, like a real believable single mom. And it's one of the things I love about the movie is I believe all these people in the real world. Like, I believe her as a single mom in Marseille, and with this guy coming in, and they're just such an unlikely couple, and yet there's a beautiful inevitability about it.
This movie leaves us asking so many questions. What do you want people to get from this movie after they leave?
It strengthened my my need to travel and to open to the others and I like losing my bearings. And I think this is what the movie advocates, the necessity to leave your context and open to the others and to change your perspective, how everything that is familiar can be watched in a different angle. This praise for curiosity and difference is something that is very strong in the movie and that I really, really appreciated being part of.
You just have to trust me.